Media Magazine is now in Blackmagic Design's booth, and they have a lot of new and exciting announcements for this year's NAB. So I'm here with their representative who's going to tell us all about it.
So we have some new announcements in the cameras. We have a new Ursa Cine 12K camera. It's a new design, body design, as well as a new sensor that we're using. It features 16 stops of dynamic range. It has multiple lens mounts. You can have an EF, a PL, or an LPL mount. We even have a new media module that we use to record that we have that we're making on our own because it has 8 terabytes of storage, so it can record 4 hours of 12K. So it's really very dense, and we have Ethernet port as well as Wi-Fi or USB-C to tether a phone in order to move the data from the camera through the Blackmagic cloud service. So this way, even the media that's inside, you could actually pull the media off using the 10 gig Ethernet. It's our biggest camera, in terms of the sensor size and things. We've even also shown a new camera that'll come later, and hopefully by the end of the year, which is a 65 millimeter.
That's a 17K?
17K, 65 millimeter camera. So, excuse me. So we are definitely showing that we want to be, firmly implanted in the high-end cinema world. And in addition to that camera, we also introduced our new Pixis 6K camera, which is a box camera, and that is a 6K full-frame sensor. So these are, large format sensors, and the 6K camera can be, obviously rigged out any way people want. We even have an optional rosette to put on one side of it. It has a monitor there, so you can go through the menus. You can use it as a confidence monitor or camera assistant, those kind of things. And that camera is going to be available in 3 different mounts. There'll be an EF model, PL, as well as an L mount.
Now, with that 8 terabyte media, is that just like an external flash drive, or what makes it different than?
Right. So it's a custom module that has the data on it, and it pulls in and out of the camera itself.
Okay.
And then we have a new media dock that you can use to mount it to your your 8 system.
Do you need the dock for it to work, or can you wire it like USB-C also?
No. You'd either use the dock itself, or from the camera directly you could connect to the 10 gig.
So all you need is an Ethernet cable, and you can record directly to it without any.
So you can use the Ethernet cable to pull the data off of the
okay.
camera.
So it can record to it, but you can transfer to it.
Correct. You transfer the data. So yeah, and but also you can use the Wi-Fi connection to move files, Blackmagic Raw and proxies, because they record both Blackmagic Raw and proxies at the same time on both of the new cameras.
Are there any similar updates of that functionality in your older cameras?
So we recently enabled the pocket cinema cameras, as well as the new Cinema 6K model, which is a handheld model of the 6K sensor, to be able to do the proxy and Blackmagic Raw recording, as well as being able to use the pocket cameras as a webcam. So you can take the USB-C out and show us as a webcam.
Outside the cameras, any other interesting things?
Yeah.
Those new DaVinci Resolves.
DaVinci Resolve 19 has a host of new features, including some new AI tools, but also we're using it for replay with the ATEMs, using a combination of the HyperDex and our cloud storage. So it's using the DaVinci Resolve software now to do multicam for replay. So that was a big announcement there. On the AI side, we have this new IntelliTrack AI that is actually across several of the tabs in the program. So you have Fusion, Fairlight, Audio, and the color page, obviously. In the Fairlight page, one of the unique new tools is to pan sound by so if you have a plane going across, you can track the plane and it'll automatically pan the audio to match.
That's cool.
So that way you're not having to keyframe, it does it automatically, and you can spend more time being creative rather than having to keyframe things. So that's one of those devices where the AI is helpful, so it speeds up the process so you can spend more time doing, more creative things.
Anything else as far as the studio?
Yeah, so we, in the ATEM area, so the live production switchers, we have the new ATEM 1ME and 2ME 4K, Constellation 4Ks. So they mirror the HD versions last year in terms of inputs and outputs, but now it's in 4K. But we also came out with a little ATEM Micro Panel that is a small switcher panel that has the same buttons as our larger panels, but it's designed to work with any of our switchers, even up to the 4ME switcher. And, as I tell people, that is great for any of the small switchers, so you can at least direct punch instead of having to use the software. But even if you have a larger panel on a multi-ME switcher of ours, you can still use the small one, say maybe to switch monitors off of a different bus, things like that. So it's a cool little panel, $675, and I think that people are really going to like the idea of having that option. It's very low profile. But we also have some new products, SMPTE 2110 products, that the IP products are there. It's designed to sort of build out our ecosystem. We're using 10 gig Ethernet to move 4K now. We have our own codec that conforms to the 2110 standard, but we're making it open source so everybody can implement it. But we have several products, just some like a small router, 16 input router that we have that works like a video router for IP. And then we have some other end-to-end products where you can mount one of them on the back of a TV and take a 10 gig signal in and turns it into HDMI, so you can, run, with just standard Cat 6+. It's a great way to move images to long distances that obviously would exceed SDI.
Very interesting stuff, as always. So does that cover it all, or is there more?
No, there's always more. The one thing that I will say is that in the Cintel Scanner, we have a new 8mm gate that we announced in the tech display, and now it's officially released, so that's pretty cool.
When you have the 17K camera out there, do you actually think people are going to have, displays that high resolution, or do you think it'll just be for cropping in and just giving you that multi-camera option, like what we're doing with like 4K and making it 1080?
Yes, right. So where the 17K really kind of comes in is that a lot of the virtual production with the LED screen, they're using very high resolution images. So they'll use a 16K image out of that. So you'll have some framing for that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where the 65mm is where, so they want to, if you want to do IMAX type stuff, that's also where we can use it. But people definitely overshoot to have the ability to reframe, and that's just another example of where we'll be with that.
How many terabytes would it be per minute for the 17K?
There'll be a calculator online like we have for the 12K. I don't know what the math is on that one yet.
What is it for the 12K?
Well, the 8 gig module can record, 8 terabyte module rather, can record 4 hours of 4K, which is pretty good. And there's a whole sliding scale calculators we have, depending on the resolution and what not, it'll give you an accurate readout for how many terabytes per hour, depending on the settings, because you can still use an SSD drive to record on the Cine 12K.
You can just have a large SSD array next to the camera, and
you can do that as well. So yeah, it's flexible for sure.
That is it for Blackmagic Design at NAB 2024, and we will go on to our next booth.